On March 9th, 2023, we bid farewell to the Israeli actor Chaim Topal, who sadly passed away at the age of 87. From his iconic portrayal of Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof to his commanding performances on stage and screen, Chaim Topal has left an indelible mark on the world of musical entertainment. Although he had a career spanning over 6 decades, surprisingly, the majority of the time was playing one role. In this episode, I want to reflect upon his life's work and discuss why it continues to inspire generations of performers today. So sit back, relax, and join me as we celebrate the legacy of one of the theater's most beloved icons, Topol. Topol was born in Tel Aviv, Israel in 1935. He was the son of parents who had fled Poland in the 1930s. Like many Israelis of his generation, Topol served in the army in the Sinai campaign in the Six-Day War in 1967, which he left the cast of Fiddler for, and in the 1973 Yom Kippur War. He was an actor, singer, comedian, and best known for his role as Tevye in the 1971 film version of Fiddler on the Roof. He also appeared in such films as For Your Eyes Only, Flash Gordon, and The Public Eye. But the one show he is synonymous with is undoubtedly Fiddler on a Roof, a 1971 American musical comedy drama film directed by Norman Jewison. It is an adaptation of the 1964 Broadway musical of the same name, with the music composed by Jerry Bach, lyrics by Sheldon Harnick, and based on the book by Joseph Stein. The film stars Topol as Tevye, a poor Jewish milkman in pre-revolutionary Russia in the early 1900s. It's a story of one man's struggles to maintain the important cultural traditions of his people in a modernizing world, centering on his relationship with his wife and determined daughters. The film was nominated for an impressive 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actor for Topol, and Best Supporting Actress for Norma Crane. For those of you who haven't seen the musical before, or it's been a while and you're interested in revisiting this masterpiece, you can watch the movie on Roku for free with ads. I personally consider this one of the best movie musicals. The reason I love this musical is because it discusses everything you wouldn't do on a first date: money, religion, and politics. Originally, Zero Mostel, who played Tevye on Broadway, was widely expected to be cast in the role for the movie. So when the news came out that an unknown actor landed the role, it caused a lot of confusion. I mean, can you imagine the outcry if social media existed back then? However, time has vindicated the producer's decision. While Zero's original Broadway portrayal had more of a Brooklyn Jewish vibe, Topol brought his humanity and worth to Tevye. I honestly cannot see Tevye portrayed in any other way. Given that he practically owned the role for over 4 decades, I suspect a lot of others agree with me. The musical opens with the song Tradition, where Tevye is introducing us to his life in Anatevka. It reminds me of Belle, but instead of thinking there must be more, Tevye is happy to be a part of this town and home, only for him to be tested on his ability to honor and observe the power of tradition. One of the many appealing aspects of this story is that although we can't all identify as a Jewish dairyman providing for a family of 5 in Russia, Tevye and his wants are relatable. When he's singing If I Was a Rich Man, you can't help but cheer him and his dream on. I mean, we all have our fantasy and what we would do if we won the lottery. We would get, cars, houses, travel to exotic places. We can also understand his dilemma when he reneges on his agreement to allow the wealthy butcher Lazar Wolf to marry his eldest daughter's idol. Instead, he supports her wish and allows her to marry for love to the impoverished but ambitious Taylor Mottl. His decision shows us his genuine love for his daughter, that he's willing to place Seidel's happiness above what would essentially be a transactional agreement, which in his eyes would ensure she rises above the station she was born in and has an easier life. There is a genuine humor too when we as the audience see that although Tevye isn't afraid of disappointing Lazar Wolf or cares what the town will think, he is struck with the fear of God when he realizes he has to inform his wife Golda of his undoing of the engagement. In addition to his work in the film, Topol also had a successful career in theater, reprising his role as Tevye by his estimates more than 3,500 times. A delightful fact is that when Fiddler on the Roof premiered at London's Her Majesty's Theatre in February 1967, he was only 31 years old, so the makeup department was trying to make him look older. By the time of his final performance in 2009, when he was about 74 years old, the makeup department was doing their best to make him look younger for the part. If there is a lesson to learn from Topol, it is to be proud of what you're best at, even if it's mainly one thing. In many ways, I think there's a lot of traits found in the character of Tevye shared with Topol himself.
What has this character meant to you?
Well, I mean, it's not a secret, but my family are all Tevyes. I mean, my grandfather was a Tevye.
Right.
His grandfather was a Tevye. So for me, it's definitely something very dear to kind of commemorating my heritage, my family, there are lines in the play that every now and then it pops out a reading of a line that comes out of my mouth, and I said, it's exactly how my father would say.
It makes you wonder if there's a role that defines you. I mean, if I had to choose, I would choose Winifred from Once Upon a Mattress. I mean, do you have one as well? Topol's legacy is one that will continue to influence generations to come. We should keep the tradition alive by celebrating this musical. Anyways, darlings, that is it for today's episode. And without further ado, take care, darling.
Traditions, traditions. Without our traditions, our lives would be as shaky as a fiddler on the roof.